Have you ever wanted to unleash your creativity through painting but didn't know where to start? Well, you're not alone. Every great artist had to start somewhere, and it's never too late to begin your own creative journey. I'm a seasoned painter with years of experience in the art world, and I'm here to guide you through the first steps of this vibrant and expressive medium. It's my passion to share the joy of painting and help others discover their own artistic potential. In this video, we're going to explore the wonderful world of painting, from the essential supplies you'll need to the basic techniques that will form the foundation of your skills. We'll delve into different types of paints, brushes, and canvases, and I'll share tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of the basic supplies and techniques you need to start painting. So let's get started, shall we? Before you start painting, you need to gather your supplies. Now, this might seem basic, but the right supplies are the foundation of a great painting. Let's dive in. First up, canvases. There's a wide variety to choose from. Cotton canvases are affordable and lightweight, perfect for beginners. Linen canvases, on the other hand, are more durable and have a finer texture, which is great for detailed work. But remember, whatever canvas you choose, it should always be primed. This prepares the canvas to hold the paint and prevents it from soaking in. Moving on to easels. An easel isn't just a stand for your canvas. It's a tool that positions your canvas in a comfortable and ergonomic way. Easels come in different styles, from tabletop versions to full standing ones. The choice depends on your workspace and the size of your canvas. Next, let's talk about paints. Acrylics, oils, and watercolors are the big three. Acrylics are versatile and dry quickly, while oils offer rich colors and slow drying times for longer work sessions. Watercolors, with their delicate hues, offer a completely different painting experience. The type of paint you choose depends on your style and what you're trying to achieve with your artwork. Now, the brushes. Each brush has its purpose. Flat brushes are great for bold strokes and filling wide areas. Round brushes are used for detailing and lines. Fan brushes are perfect for blending. As a beginner, a set of brushes that includes a variety of sizes and types will be your best friend. A palette is the painter's workstation. It's where you mix your colors and control the amount of paint on your brush. Palettes can be made from various materials, from plastic to glass. Some artists even use disposable palette paper for easy cleanups. Lastly, don't forget the additional supplies. A water cup for cleaning your brushes, paper towels for blotting, and a smock or apron to keep yourself clean. You might also want a palette knife for mixing colors and creating texture, and don't forget a good quality varnish to protect your finished work. One more thing, quality matters. While it's tempting to go for the cheapest options when you're just starting out, remember that quality supplies can make a big difference in your painting experience and the final outcome of your artwork. With these supplies on hand, you're ready to start painting. Remember, every artist has their own preference when it comes to supplies. As you gain more experience, you'll find what works best for you. Now, let's get that creativity flowing and create some art. Now that you have your supplies, let's dive into some basic painting techniques. This is where the magic truly happens, where the tools meet the canvas and your vision comes to life. First, let's talk about color mixing. You don't need to buy every color under the sun. Instead, you can create a rainbow of hues with just 3 primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. When you mix 2 primary colors together, you get secondary colors. Red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, and blue and red make purple. Mixing a primary color with its adjacent secondary color will give you a tertiary color. And if you're aiming for a more neutral or muted shade, try mixing complementary colors, which are colors directly opposite each other on the color wheel. Now let's move on to brush techniques. The way you wield your brush can drastically change the look of your painting. A flat wash, for example, is perfect for covering large areas with a single color. You achieve a flat wash by loading your brush with paint and sweeping it across the canvas in one direction. On the other hand, a dry brush technique, where you use a brush with very little paint, can create a textured, scratchy effect. It's great for creating the illusion of things like tree bark or rough fabric. Blending is another essential brush technique. This involves smoothly transitioning from one color to another. There are a couple of methods to do this. The wet-on-wet technique, as the name suggests, involves applying wet paint onto already wet paint, allowing the colors to mix directly on the canvas. The wet-on-dry method, on the other hand, involves applying wet paint onto dry paint, which gives you more control over the blending process. Speaking of control, layering is a method that can give you a lot of it. This technique involves applying multiple layers of paint, allowing each one to dry before adding the next. Layering can create depth and texture, and it's particularly effective when painting landscapes or any scene with a lot of depth. Last but not least, let's talk about texture techniques. These are methods that can give your painting a tactile quality. Stippling involves using the tip of your brush to create a series of tiny dots, which can create an interesting textured effect. Sgraffito is a technique where you scratch into the top layer of paint to reveal the layer underneath. And impasto is a method of applying paint in thick layers to create a textured 3D effect. With these techniques under your belt, you're well on your way to creating your first masterpiece. Remember, art is all about experimentation and expression. So don't be afraid to try new things and make these techniques your own. Happy painting! Painting is a journey, and every journey is easier with a few tips and tricks. Let's delve into some advice that will help smooth out the rough edges of your artistic path. First off, start with simple subjects. As a beginner, you might be tempted to tackle complex landscapes or intricate portraits right off the bat. However, it's crucial to start with something a bit simpler, like still life or abstract art. This allows you to focus on mastering the basics, such as color mixing and brush techniques, without getting overwhelmed. Think of it as learning to walk before you can run. An apple, a vase, or a simple geometric shape can be the perfect starting point to explore your newfound skills. Next, don't underestimate the power of references. This doesn't mean you're copying someone else's work. Instead, think of references as a roadmap to guide your artistic journey. They can inspire you, help you understand how light interacts with different surfaces, and show you how to capture the nuances of different shapes and textures. So, whether you're painting a beautiful sunset or a bustling cityscape, having a photo or a real-life scene to refer to can be incredibly helpful. The third tip is to practice regularly. Painting isn't a skill you can master overnight. It requires time, patience, and a lot of repetition. Make it a habit to paint a little every day. Even if you only have 15 minutes to spare, use that time to sketch a quick doodle or mix a new color. You'll be amazed at how these small, consistent efforts can lead to significant improvement over time. Now let's talk about mistakes. They're not your enemy. In fact, they're your best teacher. When you make a mistake, you discover what doesn't work and get a chance to find a solution. So don't fear mistakes. Embrace them. They're a sign that you're pushing your boundaries and growing as an artist. And remember, every great artist has a pile of less than perfect paintings behind them. Lastly, don't shy away from seeking feedback. It can be daunting to put your work out there and ask for opinions, especially when you're just starting out. But constructive criticism is a powerful tool for growth. It can provide a fresh perspective and highlight areas for improvement that you might not have noticed. You can seek feedback from fellow artists, friends, family, or even online art communities. To sum up, start with simple subjects to build your foundational skills. Use references as your guide and practice regularly to hone your techniques. Embrace your mistakes as learning opportunities and seek feedback to continue improving. Remember, the key to becoming a skilled painter is patience, practice, and persistence. We've covered a lot of ground today. From the canvas and easels that set the stage for your artwork, to the paints that bring your visions to life. We've talked about brushes, how each one has a unique role in the painting process, and the significance of a palette in managing your colors. We've delved into the realm of basic techniques, exploring the art of color mixing, the versatility of brush strokes, and the depth that layering can add to your work. We've also touched upon the magic of blending and the texture techniques that can elevate your painting to new heights. We rounded off with some handy tips for beginners, emphasizing the importance of starting with simple subjects, using references, practicing regularly, and not fearing mistakes. Remember, feedback is your friend. Now it's your turn to pick up a brush and start creating. Happy painting!